Okay, so what we're going to do now is jump in and start adding new enemies and stuff to the game and just go over how you would add new enemies and new characters to the game because enemies and party characters all inherit from essentially the same parent class. So shouldn't be hard at all for you to take what you see here and add it in to changing enemies and things as well. What is what is going on with the screen right now? Let me just have a look at that. Because that's it's all pink and weird and shit. What is happening? Let's turn that off a second. Oh god, what is going on? Like, I'm getting text messages and all sorts. Turn it back on. What is happening? Okay, I'm gonna have to stop that and try and restart. Okay. Looks like it's sorted itself out. I don't know if that was an issue with what I was doing. Looks like it's sorted itself out. I don't know if that was an issue with what I was doing. Looks like it's sorted itself out. I don't know if that was an issue with what is going on right now? I can hear some major echo in the background. What is going on right now? I can hear some major echo in the background. Let me just come out of the thing and go back into it. Like, just get out. Get out, close. Oh, I need like two screens or some shit. Close. Oh, I need like two screens or some shit. Oh, it's because I'm echoing it through the bloody mic, isn't it? Let me just move that away. Is that? Is that sorted it? Yeah, that seems to be the case. Okay, right. I am so new to streaming, it's unreal. Right, okay. So yeah, we're gonna add a new enemy type for the game. So I've just jumped on Mixamo and I just want to get like a cheap, a free enemy character models, just so we can go over how you'd add new enemies and character models and things to the game. So what we got? We've already got this goblin looking fella here. So let's get one of these guys, right? Let's get this guy. He looks pretty cool. Let me refresh Mixamo because sometimes it does this. And it won't. Like, if you go out, there we go. If you go out from Mixamo to something else, it won't pick back up again. Right, so we've got our new model here, our little zombie with a shoe in his head. He will make a good addition to our team. So let's go into our enemies. And as you can see, we've got our enemy goblin. And in here, we've got our animation. So let's create a new folder. And we'll call this Zombo. And like as you can see in the Goblin folder, we've got a bunch of different animations: casting, death, hit, injured, intro, melee, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna have to get those animations for our Zombo too. So let's start with an idle animation. So if we jump over to the Mixamo animations, we can grab our Zombo and idle animation. So let's get something pretty simple. Oh, there's actually quite a few zombie related ones on Mixamo if I remember correctly. There we go. So let's do zombie idol. Okay, that looks pretty good. How's that gonna look on this guy? Oh, not too bad. Let's give his arm space a bit further apart. That's it. We'll make him a bit more active. Yeah, there we go. And maybe crank up the overdrive a little bit so he looks like he's tense and ready for battle. That's the one right there. All right, okay, so let's download that without the skin. Actually, you know what? Let's cancel that. Cancel. What we need to do first of all is download the character mesh. So we'll get it as a T-pose. And we'll just drag that right in. Because we'll need the skeletal mesh. So this one's Mr. Ramiro Odesbiens. I'm just going to call him Zombie. So let's open that up, first of all. And we'll grab Ramiro Desbiens and we'll drag him into our Zombo folder. So we don't want any skeleton because we're going to create a new one and we'll import all of that. And because it's Mixamo, it should come with all the textures and materials already applied to it. So there we go. Really what I should have done is not put that in animations. I should have put it in meshes. So we'll do a new folder. We'll call this Zombo as well. And then we're going to where we put that and grab all of this stuff. We'll control exit. And we'll go into meshes and control V it. No, we can't. Control X and control V. Okay. Can I at least control C and control V? Zombo, control A and control C. Enemies, meshes, Zombo, control V. There we go. So now we can go back to the animations and we can delete all of this. Yeah. Delete all those references. Zoopy doop doop doop. And then we'll just quickly go into our enemies folder and we'll fix up any redirectors. There we go. Sweet. So we are good to go. So now we've got our Zombo mesh. He's going to build his materials from what's supplied with Mixamo. So that's all good and well. And we can go into the animations now, go back into Zombo, and we can start building out the animations. So we were using this one, weren't we? And we had his arm space a little bit, we had his activity a little bit, and we had his overdrive a little bit. So let's sort that out. Maybe a little bit more on the overdrive, I reckon. There we go. That looks like he's ready for action. He's ready and raring to go. So we'll do that without skin, and we'll get it at 60 because why wouldn't you? And we'll drag that in, and this can be our Zombo idol. So we'll just grab that, drag it right into Unreal, boom, and we're going to assign it to Mr. Ramirez. I don't know what his name's supposed to be, but I'm going to call him Mr. Ramirez. Zombie idol. Oh, it's already named it for us. Lovely. So let's go into Gobbo. We got okay, so we need death, we need hit reaction, all that good stuff. Okay, so let's go through this one at a time. So let's do zombie run. And I reckon that one. We'll lock it in place. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. Okay, so let's download that. Without skin, yeah, it's kept our options. And so basically what we're doing now is we're just doing the preparation work to set up the characters, which you do with any game. I mean, this kit just makes it a lot easier for you. So we'll assign that to the skeleton, and there we go, zombie running. Excellent. So now we need hit reaction. So let's see if there's a zombie hit reaction. Like a zombie punching. We'll need that actually. So let's check that. There we go. Yep, that works. And we got zombie death. So we've got quite a few cool cool little things we can. So yeah, I'm gonna take this one. The zombie punch. We'll download that because we need a melee attack. So there we go, zombie punching. And we'll just assign that to the skeleton. We're going to be doing this a lot, assigning animations to skeletons. Because obviously you got to download it for the skeleton that it's related to. So we're just going to rename this one just because I want to keep it with the same naming convention as everything else. So we'll do zombie melee. So let's have a look in our goblin. We've got, we need death, we need cast, and we need hit reactions. So let's do the zombie death one next. So we'll grab this. That'll do. So we'll download that without the skin. So basically, each character is made up of a series of animation montages. And those animation montages are tied. Oh, hang on. Let me get back to the right folder. Those animation montages are tied to various events. So we'll go over that as we get to it. So let's just assign this to the right skeleton. And let the animation import. This one's taking quite a while for some reason. Gonna get me a little cigarillo on the go while we do this. Now, a lot of these animations will need to be turned into montages so we can add notifiers to them to tell the game when to dispatch various events. But for now, we'll just work on getting the animations in here. So we've got our basic setup. We've got death, idle, melee, running. We need a hit reaction. So let's do hit react. Try to find one where the guy's not. That one looks good. Zombie hit reaction. Yeah, we'll download that. So we'll get rid of that skin again. We'll add it in. We're going to turn all these into montages in just a moment. So that's the thing about game development. It's a slow, time-consuming process. And a lot of it is setup. And very little payoff. So let's import that guy. And we'll rename it. Zombie hit react. These are bothering me because they're all black screen, so I just want to... Yeah, I was worried about that. Alright, so let's go enemies, meshes, zombo. Why has that guy got... What? 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 I'm so... Alright, guys, get rid of all of that. Force delete. Oh, we're gonna have to set up all these animations all over again, aren't we? Alright, let's go back to enemies. Animations, Dumbo. Let's grab all of those, get rid of them. It's because I copied and pasted the fucking thing, isn't it? Alright, let's delete those. Let's go back to enemies. Meshes. Zombo. Okay, right, let's get rid of the animation for now, and we'll download the mesh again. Actually, no, we've already got that downloaded, don't we? Let me show all downloads. Let's grab this guy. Bring him in. No skeleton, import. Oh, I love game design. It's not stressful at all. It's actually really fun and light and breezy. Okay, now we have the right skeletons assigned to things. Go back to enemies, go back to animations, go back to Zombo, and set all that shit back up again. Alright, let's go. So we'll cancel that. And do zombie. Okay, so we got the punch here. So let's take that and we'll download it without skin at 60. Sorted. Alright, so let's take that, drop it in here. Let's take that and drop it in here. There we go. Alright, assign it to Mr. Ramirez. Could you take any longer about this, Unreal? I mean, please. If you could take a little bit longer, I mean, I'd be immensely grateful. I mean, this is progressing way too fast. Oh, for God's sake. Whoa, what is the problem with this thing sometimes? Right, let me open that. Rename it. I'll call it zombie. Are you kidding me? Well, let me rename. Okay, there we go. Right, we'll rename it here then. So rename zombie. Okay, so we got our melee. Let's convert that to a montage. Might as well do this as we go along. It'll make life easier. There we go, zombie melee. Sweet. So now we need an idol. How's this one? Yeah, that'll do, duck. That'll do. So we'll do it without skin. And that'll be our zombie idol pose. So we'll take this and we'll just drag it right into Unreal. Zombie idol. And we'll assign it to Mr. Ramirez. So every time you download an animation, you need to assign it to the skeleton you've got it assigned to. Now what we can do is, actually we need the running animation first. So let's get a running animation. We'll set it to run in place. There we go. Obviously, they need to run over to your character. So we'll grab that. Sweet. And we'll take it and drag it into Unreal. And we'll assign it to the correct skeleton, which is Mr. Ramirez. And there we go. Now we got a zombie running. So actually, we need 2 more animations. We need an injured animation. So we need injured. So we need, yep, there we go. There we got a nice limpy injured run. So let's grab that. And obviously, if you have your own models, you can upload them to Mixamo and it will rig them for you so you can apply these animations to your own models. I'm just using the ones from Mixamo because of content usage stuff. So we'll rename that zombie running injured. And there we go. So now we've got our injured run and our regular run. We'll just rename the regular run. I don't want to duplicate it. Oh, what's this? When you make a mistake, it costs you, man. So rename. The zombie running, we've got zombie running injured, and now we need an injured idol. So let's have a look. What do we have for injured idol? Right, this one. Yeah, I like that one. So we'll grab that. And what we're going to do with these is we're going to use them in the enemy's animation blueprint. So we'll assign this to Mr. Ramirez. Import all. Lovely stuff. Now montages, we only need montages for when we're going to call them. Things that are going to be called from the animation blueprint, we don't need montages for. Only for things that are going to interrupt the animation blueprint. So we've got running injured, running, zombie idle, and we'll rename this one zombie idle injured. So when their health falls below 10%, these are the animations that will play. And now that we've got those set up, we can go ahead and we can create the animation blueprint. So if we go into animation and we create an animation blueprint, and we need to select the skeleton. So we'll do Mr. Ramirez. And we'll call it anim BP combo. Yep, pretty straightforward. Right then, let's get to work sorting this out. So let's slot default this, and that will allow us to use animation montages to interrupt the animation blueprint, and then from there we will create a state machine, and then we'll open up that state machine. So on entry we want to go to idle, so we'll add a state and we'll call it idle. Pretty straightforward. Now from idle we've got two options. We've got idle and we've got idle injured. So let's go from idle to idle injured. And we're going to do that based on the character's health. So let's go. Thank you, Uber Eats. I really needed that. Let's go to the event graph. And one of the things we're going to need to do is add a few variables. So we're going to need to do speed. We need to know how quickly the character's moving. And we're going to need health. We're going to want to know how healthy the character is. So as poor owner, we're going to cast to character parent, because they all descend from that character, and as this we're going to get velocity. Yes, get shit, what, I did that wrong. Get velocity, and then we're going to turn that into a length, and then we're going to set that to our character's speed. So we're going to do set, not sweat speed, set speed. Okay, so now our speed is going to be updated based on this, and then we're going to get HP. I'm going to divide that by our HP max. I think that's how I did it. Hang on a minute, let me have a look. Goblin, animation BP, event graph. Yeah, HP divided by HP max, and that'll give us a value between 0 and 1, which we can then set our health to. Excellent. So we'll do HP, and we'll get HP max. We'll divide those two together, and then we will set our health to that value. So that'll give us a value between 0 and 1, which our health will then check on. So we've got values for our speeds, we've got values for our health, and we're all good to go. So yeah, it's going to give me some errors because I haven't put an idle injured. Animation in here, yeah, there we go. Idle injured. Compile. Why am I getting errors now? Can't transition. I see. Okay. So what we want to do with idle injured when we want to enter this transition is we want to check our speed is less than something small like 0.1. But we also want to know that our health is less than or equal to 0.1. So we'll put this into an and there we go. So now we can enter this transition as long as we're stationary and our health is below a certain amount. So we'll compile that, and there we go, no more errors. So we're going to go from regular idle to injured idle if our health is below 0.1 and our speed is below 0.1. So from regular idle, where our health is clearly not below 0.1, we want to add a new state, and this is going to be our run state. So we're going to do zombie running, and we're going to rename this run. Now to enter this state, we want to make sure our speed is greater than 0.1. We don't need to worry about our health, because if our health is less than 0.1, we'll have already entered the injured idle. So we're not in injured idle, so clearly our health isn't below 0.1, so we don't need to worry about checking that again. So we can enter that state if our speed increases, and we can return back to idle if our speed decreases. So we'll go get our speed, and if that's less than 0.1, we can return back to idle. So we'll do that. So now we've got, if our speed is greater than 0.1, if our speed is less than 0.1. So we're going to go into idle injured if our speed is less than 0.1 and our health is less than, oh wait, hang on a minute, I've not done the health. So let's just adjust that to 0.1. There we go. So now we'll go back to, if we get healed in the meantime, we'll go back to idle if our health is greater than 0.1. So if we get injured and we enter our idle state, we will go from regular idle to idle injured. If we get healed in the meantime, we'll go back from idle injured to regular idle. So now the next thing we need to do is duplicate run. We're going to move this over here. We're going to call it run injured. Pretty straightforward. And we're going to enter run injured on exactly the same. No, that's not. Okay, Control C, Control V those. No, okay. So we're just going to check to see if our speed is greater than 0.1. There we go. And again, our speed is less. We don't need to worry about the health checks because they're being handled in the idle state. So we're only ever going to be into this state if our health is already less than 0. So all we need to do is worry about checking the speed again. So we can just do this. And if our speed is less than 0.1, then we'll enter back into this state. So currently our speed and health have got default values to 0, but if I put my health value to 1, for example, compile that, now we're just in regular idle. Oh, which I've accidentally put as idle injured. There we go. So compile that. So now we're in regular idle. So if I set the health back to 0, now we're in injured idle. And obviously on the event begin play or the event update, it's going to cast the parent. It's going to get the velocity. It's going to get the HP. It's going to set those values for us. So that's all well and good. Now, there are a few other things we need. So Let's jump into the Zombo animations, and we need to create an animation montage for the injured. So let's hit enter on there. And we'll do this. And we want to find the point at which damage should occur. So here it is. And we'll do add notify. And we'll do notify apply damage, because we're applying damage. And we also, let's add another track. And we'll add in a particle effect. So we'll do this one here somewhere. Sword hit. There we go. So now when we play this montage, it's not quite landing where I want it to. So it needs to come forward on the Y by like 80, I reckon. Yeah, and then up on the Z by maybe 100. Let's do 100 on the Y as well. And that looks pretty good. So what that's going to do is it's going to fire off the notify apply damage, which is going to tell the game, the parent class, to apply the incoming damage to whatever you're targeting. So we can save and close that. That's all good. That's all done. So we've got our animation blueprint set up. We've got the zombie melee montage. Did I just make 2 of those? I did, didn't I? I already had one. Let me just delete that. And we'll rename this. Zombie melee montage. Okay, so let's start setting up the enemy. So let's duplicate this. I'll call it enemy Zombo. And we'll set the skeleton up. So we've got zombie, Mr. Ramirez. And we want to use the anim blueprint for Zombo. That's good. Okay. So we'll save all of that. We'll go back into. Oh, where's that gone small? Go get up, get big. No, don't you dare! Oh, fucking hell, Epic. Can you not put a... Are you sure you want to do this thing on the... Fuck me. On the quick game thing. Oh, God knows how much progress I've just lost. Well, I guess I'll use that opportunity to go to the bathroom. Oh, I feel like Marvin the paranoid android. It's like life. Don't talk to me about life. Alright, let's roll another fag. Yeah, we Brits often refer to cigarettes as fags. It's not a gender slur or anything like that. It's just, I don't know where it comes from, to be honest with you. Grab these. Let's see how far back that set us. Oh, for God's sake, Unreal, you drive me mad sometimes. Alright, okay. So here you go. You can tell we've got our Zombo in here. We've got his animation blueprint set up. So now we need the hit reaction montage for him. So we've got a very lots of default, oh, for fuck's sake, lots of default slots set up already for different things. So we need to get the zombie ones, because currently we've only got his melee one, which goes in the battle component. So we'll do the melee one there. Okay. So now, in theory, we should be able to tell this to be a Zombo, and this to be a Zombo. They don't have casting animations yet, but if they do a melee attack, that should work. They've got their animation blueprints. So let's just dish out some pain. Still called goblins at the moment, thanks to the we should see if they choose a melee attack. We should see them run. There we go. Run over to us, slap us, and then run back. Excellent. He's going to do a magic spell. Sweet. Alright, we don't have any hit reaction montages set up yet. So let's go ahead and do that now. So let's jump into the Zombo's animations. We do have a... Do we not have a hit reaction? Zombie idle injured, zombie melee, zombie running injured. No, we lost them all, didn't we? We had to reset, so... Let's do react. And get ourselves a hit reaction. What about this one? That'll do. Alright, let's download it without the skin. We'll drag that into Unreal. Assign it to the skeleton. And now we can create our zombie hit reaction. So let's close that. I don't know why I opened it. And we'll do rename zombie hit react. And we need to turn that into a montage. So we'll just right click, create montage, and there we go. So as you can see now, we're starting to pad out the animation. So if we go into the main character, you'll see we've got all of our hit reactions here. So we can do zombie hit react. So now when we hit the zombie, it will react to our hits. So let's just go and check that out. So now if we attack the zombie, which should be... I don't know why it's reordered them. Yeah, there we go. You can see it reacts to getting hit. If we attack it again, you can see it reacts to getting hit. So there we go. There we got our hit reaction. We need our intro, our cast. We can reset that actually because we don't really necessarily always need an intro. So we need a casting animation. And we need a death animation. So let's go back to here. And we'll get a death animation. That's pretty cool. I like that one. Grab that. This process is pretty fluid and pretty quick once you get used to the process of it. So let's drag that in. Assign it to the skeleton. And once you've done this enough times, it'll just become second nature to you. Come on. I don't know why it's taking so long to import these in animations. It's only a few kilobytes. Alright. So, we'll rename this. Whenever Unreal decides to start responding. Count. There we go. So, oh god. Okay, well, I spoke too soon. Alright, we'll rename this zombie underscore. And the reason we need to create montages for these and we set the slots up is so that we can play these and interrupt the animation blueprint. So let's go ahead and create a montage for that. Then we can go back into our Zombo. And on the death montage, we can do zombie death montage. So now we can start customizing this enemy a little bit more. So if we go into the zombie, I'm gonna give it a little bit less health. So if we go into stat modifiers and we'll do 0.8, we'll do 6 on the strength because they're melee orientated, and we'll do 1 on the magic so they don't do a lot of magic damage. So now, when we play, you'll notice a discrepancy in the health values between the zombies and the goblins. So if we go to the goblin, he's got 80. He's got 80. He's only got 53. So you see how those stat modifiers affect the HP values. So let's attack that zombie. And then with the mage, we'll do some combat magic. We'll do a flamia on the same zombie. And there you go. His death animation plays. Wait, what? Why has that happened? Oh no, I know why that's happened. Okay, yep, this is another thing I meant to cover. Right, so let's go back into the animations and we'll go back into the blueprint for the Zombo. Now there's something we need to do here, and that's create a death loop. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the zombie death and we're going to duplicate it and call it the zombie death loop. Okay, so when he's down, this is what's going to play. So what we want to do is grab the last frame of that. Okay, and we'll delete everything up until that frame. So actually we'll do it up until that frame. There we go. So now we've got a death loop animation. So what we can do is go into our blueprint and go into our idle. And if our health is less than or equal to 0, so we'll do death. If our health is less than or equal to 0, we want to stay in the death state. And that will stop us going back into injured idle. Well, at least it should. Like, let's just check that out. So we need to kill off this Zombo, and he should, and as you can see, each character's got their own intro animations, which we can set up later on. So if we do an attack on this zombie, and then the mage finishes it off with a spell, he should die and stay dead. No, he's T-posing. I haven't set the animation. Okay, alright, let me go into here. Zombie death loop. There we go. Okay, so now he's gonna stay in his death loop. So let's play that. That's it. Attack. This guy. Magic. Same dude. And there we go. Now he stays in his death loop and we can no longer attack him. So yeah, that's basically the animation blueprint set up now. We don't need to deal with that anymore, so we can go and save everything. We can close the loop. We can close the Zombo, and we're good to go. Now, the rest of the animations are all going to be action-related ones. So we've got the melee, we've got the hit, we've got the death, but we also need a casting montage, and that's about it, really. So if we're going to the Zombo, we've got our melee attack. And you've got these values here for you to populate if you want to, but mainly it's going to be the ones in here. So we've got our hit reaction, we need a casting one, we've got our death reaction. We don't need items, victory, or receive heals, really, because they're AIs. They're not going to have those. So we could have an intro one, like I do with the goblins, where they rise up at the floor. But mainly what we want to focus on is the Zombo cast. So let's get a casting animation. So cast. And what do we feel like? What about this one? That really should be the item using one, really. I might actually change that for my characters down the line. But yeah, that looks pretty good so far. So we'll grab that. And we'll put it into... So we'll grab that. Wait, hang on. We'll put it into... Zombo. There we go. So let's drag that. And the great thing about this is you can drag it right out of Firefox into Unreal. So you don't even need to go to the folder it was stored in. That's great. So Mr. Ramirez, import you, and we'll rename this and call it Zombie. And now we want to do that as a montage. There we go. Now we've got our cast montage. Now with the cast, we do need to add an animation notify. So if we pause this about there, that looks pretty good. And then simply add a montage notify, and the code I've set up for you will do the rest. So I mean, what we could do is, if we wanted to, add a Niagara particle effect. So we'll do that. The start, and we'll do last aura, and we'll see how that works. Or doesn't, as the case may be. Is that because it's compiling? Are you gonna play the thing? Is it not attached as well? Why isn't it playing? Didn't tell me it was compiling shaders. God, I fucking hate Unreal sometimes, man. Alright, let's have a fight and see if they attack us with some magic spells. Actually, you know what? We can do this. We can turn them all into zombies. There we go. Now all of the enemies should be zombies. We'll just spam away our turns. So we'll just do cure on ourselves. Items. Curative. Potion on yourself. Or on the paladin, whatever. He's not gonna go. They've all got their own little thank yous for being healed. Okay, so it's the curative potion. Paladin again, because why not? We've been doing them on the paladin all this time. So he's gonna come over and give us a bitch slap. He's gonna come over and give us a bitch slap. Are any of you gonna cast any spells? Oh, I think he's just tried to. Oh, you know what we haven't done? We haven't put the cast montage in. So even if they do cast spells, it's gonna... Oh, I need to remember these things. But there go our little ATB gorges filling up. So item, combat, will throw a grenade at this goblin, why not? It still says goblin, but fuck it. Item, combat, grenade. Do it. And then item, combat, grenade. Finish him off. There we go. That's it. Now he's casting magic. And they're just going to twat us about a bit. But that's fine. We can heal up from that, so let's go to our curative items. We've got a potion. Do one on the paladin. And we'll do one on the fighter. And we'll do one on... fuck it, the mage, why not? There we go. And there we go, our zombies. Casting magic. A lot of casting magic. Okay. So now we've got our montages set up for the casting magic. So everything is all honky-dory. Montage item. Oh yeah, that's if they use an item. So what we can do now is basically that enemy's done. Essentially, I mean, all we got to do really is fiddle with their stat block. We've got all the animations and everything's dispatched off the modifiers, the montage notifiers. So all we got to remember really is the melee uses the apply damage montage notify, and the cast spell uses a regular montage notify. But everything's set up in the character parent, so we can reuse that stuff over and over and over again, and it's going to be cool beans. So yeah, essentially that's it for setting up an enemy. The only other thing to do is really go into the enemy itself, and as I briefly touched on earlier, um, mess with the stat modifier. So I'm gonna give this guy. Oh god, it's not the microphone over. I'm gonna give this guy 0.5 on health, so he's pretty weak. But we're gonna give him a decent defense, so I'll give him 2. I'll have a speed of 2 as well, so they get turned really fast. Then let's see how that affects the gameplay. Now, obviously we don't have any appearance for them yet, but that's just fancy stuff we can set up later. So now you can see their health's only 33, so if we attack him with the Paladin, he's going to do 26 damage. And we'll use a basic magic spell with the Mage. And he's dead, because they got little health. So we'll attack this guy with the Fighter. She's going to do a butt ton of damage, and just enough to kill him. And there we go. Now they're going to retaliate, give it a bitch slap in the Mage. He's going to cast a spell. Pretty sweet. So I'll attack that guy again with the Paladin. And then the Mage can do one of his weaker spells. That's just enough to kill him. And then the Fighter will outright wipe this guy out. And then we'll get our battle screen, our victory screen, sorry. Show us all our level ups and all that good stuff. Pretty sweet. So what we need to do now is just finish off this character, because we've basically done them now. That's all you really need to add. So if we go into these animations and we find, I don't know, Rise. Is that going to give us no, let's do zombie, because I bet there's a zombie get up animation. It has to be a zombie getting up. No? What if we do stand? And crank the overdrive up a little bit on that. Yep, that looks pretty good. So we'll download that without the skin. We'll go back to our animations for our Zombo and we'll whack it in here. So standing up, we'll take that down, we'll put it in here and assign it to Mr. Ramirez. And we'll call it Zombie Intro. Because every character has its own Battlestar intro animation, and this will be the Zombos. So as you saw with the goblins, they had like a little fire thing emanate on the ground and they got back up again. Well, they kind of popped into the scene. With the zombies, we'll have them sort of rise from the ground. Once the animation finishes importing, if it ever finishes importing. Come on. And get a little bit of back taco out. Alright, okay. So Unreal is frozen. It's always a good sign. I'm just going to let it compress the animations. Can I... There we go. Right, rename. Zombie. Intro. And you'll see how easy it is to integrate these animations. If you haven't seen it already, you'll see it now, how easy it is to integrate these animations into the current blueprints. So as long as you've got the right skeleton and you've created it as a montage, it just slots into these character variables. So we want to go to the Zombo itself, and what we want to do is find intro here. We'll do a zombie intro montage, hit play, and then you'll see the zombies will perform their introduction. And there we go. Now, obviously, there was a little bit of an issue there. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the visibility, then we're going to delay this amount of time. We're going to swap these around. So we'll take the mesh, take it over here, we'll take the animation montage, we'll put it here, we'll add another delay. And then we will set it to visible. So like these are things you're going to want to play with to find the right timings for, or do your own thing with them. So yeah, we probably need to up that a little bit. So let's do 0.5. God, I have the microphone off again. Right, there we go. So let's do that again. Probably even a little bit longer. Let's try 0.75. So I don't want to leave it too long because it'll look weird if there's just a blank battlefield. Even that's not long enough. Whole second. You know what? Let's go mad and have 2 seconds. Your guess is as good as mine as to why that keeps happening when it just flashes them down like that. Right, let's put that back to 5. Maybe I mean, for demonstration purposes, that does the job. But you'd want to fine tune this so you didn't get that brief flash. But yeah, for demonstration purposes, it works pretty fine. Now we need to get them below 10% health, so they need to get to 3 HP. So I think what I'm going to do is do a curative item on myself. And then with her, we'll do a magic. Oh, it was enough to kill it. I wanted to get it to like low health. So as you can see, we've added a new enemy type to the game quite easily, quite quickly. Changed all its stats. The only thing we need to do really is add effects to its attacks. So let's attack a zombie here. And see if we can get it down to, okay. So we'll kill this one outright. Want to get that one there, the one that's attacking it. I want to get it down to low health, so it goes into limp mode. So I'll attack that guy with the paladin. And we'll attack this guy with the mage. There we go, now he's in limp mode. We'll attack this one with the fighter, and he's gonna die. And we don't have the run injured. Aha. And there we go, our victory scream. Get our XP. That's another thing I didn't go over, changing the XP value. So if we go into the class defaults for the battle component, we've got an XP value. XP value. XP value, where are you? XP value. Ah, here we go. So this one's what I'm going to set this to be worth 40. Because they're not quite as hardy as the zombies. As the goblins, should I say. What's the other thing I was going to do? Oh yes, the animation blueprint. So let's check that out. Go to the state machine. Less than 1. So if health is greater than 1, it's going to go back to idle. If health is less than 1, we want it to go into idle injured. And then from idle injured, if speed is greater than 1, I'm going to go to run injured, which is just zombie running, which is what I thought the mistake was. So we'll change that to zombie running injured. Compile. And now if we set speed to 1 and health to 0.2. Why are we not getting zombie running injured? Oh, because health needs to be less than 0.1, so let's do 0.05. Compile. We're still in run. So, speed 0. Now we're injured. Speed 1. Injured running. Excellent. So that should be everything. So let's see if we can get a zombie into its injured state. So let's attack this first one. Also, we'll change the name as well from goblin to zombie. So we attack this guy. There we go. Attack the second dude. Get him out the picture. So now he's limping over. Oh, no, he's fine at the moment, I think. No, he's definitely. They're all showing in. Okay. What is going on with their blueprints? So, injured, go back to health if health is greater than 0.1. Go into injured if health is less than 0.1. Let's turn that back to 0. Compile. Which is death. So if health is less than or equal to 0, we go to death. We're going to enter an idle. We're going to go, if our health is... That's the problem. We've got speed instead of health. Oh, such a silly Wally. Health is less than 1. Health is greater than 1, we go to injured, to go to idle. Health is less than 0.1, we go to injured. Speed greater, speed less, speed greater, speed less. Okay, now it should be... Actually, let's take this and we'll drop the delay on this to between 3 and 4. So basically that just triggers the, because we got this sweeping camera pan, so that delay just accounts for that. Actually, let's do 2 and 3. And these are the kind of fine tunings you'll need to do just to make sure everything starts to look right. So now we've got our zombies. Yeah, we can go. We're not getting that flashing anymore. They all stand up at different times. So let's attack this guy with our paladin. They're not doing their injured stance yet. So we've done 24. Let's attack that zombo. We need to get him below 3. So now he's on 7. And we'll attack this one with the fighter. Lovely stuff. He's going to run over, give us a bitch slap. We need to add some sound effects to that. He's going to run over, give us a bitch slap. He's going to do the same thing. Oh, he's really giving the fighter a bit of a pasting, ain't he? Hit that guy with the sword. And then we'll attack this one. Try and get him into his injured state. She's just gonna outright kill whoever we attack her to. And even at his weakest magic, the mage has got enough to kill anything, so we've got to kind of whittle this dude's health down a little bit. Oh, so he's casting a spell. So let's attack this second guy. And then we can, with the mage, attack this one, and that should drop him below his 10%. And now he's injured, so we can quite clearly see that. We'll go over to this guy, beat the crap out of him. And now he's going to limp over, give us a slap. And then go back. And then we can just finish him off with the paladin. And there we go. We've won the battle. Excellent. All cushy, well and good. Only other things we need to do is a little bit of tidying up stuff. So let's go to the melee. And on the sword here, we want to add notify to play sound. And we want that sound to be SFX punch. Pretty sweet. So now if we save all of that and we play. So we can attack. We're going to attack with the mage. We'll use combat magic and we'll do that on this zombie over here. And we'll attack this one here. There we go. Place the sound effects now. And with that mage, we can do a little bit of basic magic on goblin number 2. Kill him outright, and then that fighter will finish this guy off. And there we go. Another battle successfully won. So there's only one thing left to do, and I noticed it in that fight, but it's just suddenly escaped my memory. Oh, yes. So we go into the Zombo, and we need to go to class defaults, and we need to change its name to Zombo. And that's it. Now we've added a new enemy to the game that quickly, that easily, that simply. And the game does everything else for you. So if we go to attack now, we got Zombos. And we can scroll through them all. See their health, see their MP. And we are we are good to go. So yeah, that is essentially it. So what I'll do tomorrow is I'll probably post another stream or a video showcasing how to add items and things. We had a little bit of difficulty with that today. We had a glitched grenade, but hopefully we'll sort that out. So yeah, if you like that and you want to maybe get your hands on this kit at some time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Save all before you leave.